All right, guys, in today's video, I'm going to go ahead and launch into a random quick play match just to show you guys the trials and tribulations we have as healers. Healing is not the easiest task. You need everyone to be on the same page, but sometimes you have to think outside the box. Now, there are a lot of heroes to choose from, of course. I do believe Mercy is probably the strongest if you know how to use her, but she's situational based. If you keep getting picked by the enemy team because their IQ's high, they're really good at shots, and you just, for some reason, can't stay behind cover because your team is just playing awkward, you can always go Baptiste, who I absolutely love. I think he's probably my second favorite healer because he can put damage on targets as well as do a mass amount of healing if your teammates are close by. But we're gonna go ahead and go Mercy. And again, this is random queue. I didn't really want to go ahead and record this game based off of like my best match or my highest healing match, things like that. So I just want to show you guys how important and imperative things are. So right off the bat, we got trapped in our spawn. Notice our tank's going out here and just kind of put me in a really bad spot, and I almost died. Now look, when it comes to Overwatch, we've got to have some form of teamwork. Unfortunately, we have none. We've got a character that's, those two guys went ahead up front, and I was stuck healing the two guys back. Unfortunately, I could not do much. Again, just because of the split. Now, if he goes to dive in, I'm gonna try not to dive in with him, but I will try to buff him. Unfortunately, that massive amount of healing did not help. And again, look at what our team's doing right now. They kind of just, they didn't jump in with the tank. And with all tanks, you don't want to, but with a Reinhardt, you definitely want to. Some tanks are meant to just be off on their own. The amount of damage these guys are doing right now is unreal. And again, now we have a Roadhog going in by himself. Not a big deal. He's a Roadhog. He has got a lot of healing ability. D.Va looks like she's about to ult, so we got to be very careful trying to get back and heal this one. And notice this moment he hooks him, I switch to my buff. I want to go ahead and try my best to buff my character. And unfortunately, again, the tank goes in by himself, and my DPS is kind of just sitting back, not really doing a whole lot of anything. All right, I went ahead and ulted. Normally, I wouldn't do that, but I went ahead and ulted just because the enemy Soldier 76 had ulted. Now look, notice how when I ult, it chains. It's just chain healing ability. This is massive as a Mercy player. It is an absolute game changer. Don't let Zenyatta bully you. He's really, he's not weak, but his ult's basically useless. I went ahead and buffed him the moment he got the hook off. I'm gonna try to go ahead and sneak this. Got 4 seconds till it's up. Again, unfortunately, our team's not there to really help much, and I put myself in a bad spot. Now, that was dumb of me. I committed to the res after Roadhog died, and that was just a bad play on my part. Now, look, again, it's completely situational based on when to use Mercy. Unfortunately, I do believe this is still a good situation. I don't think anyone else would really help us as much. The team does enough damage, you can see as we captured the first part, but the problem is that they're not working together. They're very split up. Everyone's going in on their own at different times. Again, notice Reaper right now just kind of going off on his own, and I can't really do any mass amounts of healing. Baptiste might be better off in this situation, so I could possibly switch to him just because of his AoE healing, but oh, that's not good. I'm gonna try to go ahead and get a res off of some form if I can. All right, I'm gonna need some chain healing for sure right at this point, just because again it was a 4v3, but now with those 2 kills it's now a 3v2. We're pushing the enemy team back, and I do believe that AoE healing is just so special. Soldier 76 out. I'm gonna try to do my best healing and buffing at the same time, but Soldier's ult's putting a lot of damage down range on him. And again, you can't heal everybody. It's got to try your best to prioritize the people that are, of course, going in, your main DPS, as well as the tank. And again, if they all focus the same target like that, there's really nothing you can do. I went ahead and shifted to him and quickly backed out of that. I notice how I'm not really buffing much just because I haven't had the ability to. They're putting so much damage on us. It has not been an easy task at all. And look, sometimes when you're healing, you'll look at the character and it'll accidentally heal someone else. Here we are again. I'm gonna go ahead and chain. Now this is the moment where our team needs to go ahead and feel confident to push, because I can do massive amounts of healing at one time. Now notice how they're focusing me. I'm gonna try my best to stay away from the enemy. Again, if a Mercy dies, your team's in a very bad spot. Mercies are way more critical than I believe people give her credit for. You just have to play her better. And notice how I've only died, what, once, maybe twice, but I believe once. And that's not a flex. That's just showing you guys the importance. We're about to win because of the ability of not just, oh, I might put myself in a bad spot on that one. I did, and there it is. After talking all that, I went in for a heal I probably shouldn't have gone in for, but nonetheless, we're able to win and secure it. Now, things to learn from that match right there. Notice how I got endorsed. Again, great healers. People love good healers. If you heal properly, you're going to get endorsed. But again, the main message I want to put in this video is sometimes even being the best healer of your abilities, and I made some mistakes, but sometimes even playing perfectly, you're just still not going to get the win because your team doesn't play perfectly together, especially if you're random queuing, you don't have a full 5-man. It can get a little frustrating. Just stick with it, guys. You will find a way to make the best of a rough team like that. We had a very rough start. People diving in at different times, and no, certain tanks do have the ability to dive in. A lot of tanks, that's their job, to jump in, distract the enemy, let the DPS come in. The problem with this squad is the tank would go in and the DPS would stay back and spawn. It was a really big mistake, and I don't really think we should have gotten that first point, but somehow, some way, the enemy team, instead of holding that gatekeep, that pinch, holding that aisle down at spawn by the bus, they pushed back and allowed us to close that gap. And it was a huge mistake on their part. If they would have held that, honestly, I don't believe we would have won, just again, because our team really wasn't playing together. But, you know, with the heals, we were able to pull something out. So we're gonna go ahead and look into a second match, and I'm hoping we kind of get a better team that works together. Even though we won the last game, I'd like to either get a loss or play with a really good team that works together, where when the tank dives in, the rest of the team goes in as well. Because remember, when the tank dives in, their job is to distract the enemy team. When they're all focused on the tank, DPS is able to go in and do some damage and basically essentially third party. All right, so notice we have someone that went Mercy. Now I'm gonna go ahead and go Baptiste, and let's see what this Mercy does. Let's see how this Mercy plays. Let's see if I can out heal this Mercy. Mercy is very hard to out heal if they play her correctly, and because of her skin, I'm fully expecting her to play correctly. Let's see what happens. Now, this video originally started on Mercy, but we're gonna go ahead and again see if we can out heal her with Baptiste, which won't be an easy task. My right trigger does do massive healing in a certain spot. If you guys are curious about switching, of course, if you like to do DPS, you have that ability too. It is a burst fire weapon. Does have a little bit of delay before the bullets actually get to the target, but he's pretty freaking powerful. Now we do have the shift button as well, which heals everybody around us pretty significantly. As you can see, it's still on them, finally disappearing. Trying to heal Mercy. You see it heals her pretty quick. I have to actually hit her, unfortunately. And again, it allows me to poke a little bit, which is a really good, useful thing. He might be one of the most, I wouldn't say underrated, but I don't see people using Baptiste often, and I'm not sure why. Now watch out for Roadhog. If he hooks me, it's gonna be in trouble. And that's a good Roadhog right there. And again, that's kind of a failure on DPS to kind of push up together like that and allow Roadhog to flank. All right, now that our team's kind of hurting, I'm gonna try my best to get back to our Mercy. We gotta kill the Roadhog, and as you can see, his healing is just so powerful. Now the problem is you have to actually hit your shots, and clearly I'm missing a lot. Now I'm gonna try to back up a little bit. because that Roadhog's kind of scary. He keeps going for flanks, which is really his job. Roadhog's job isn't to just push up the front. It's to kind of go around and flank the enemy. And I'm going to keep trying to poke the enemy while getting some heals off. This could be bad. This is bad. Now, again, notice my team has no idea where the Roadhog's at. That's a really good Roadhog player, but I'm going to try my best again to get the heals off. He's going to go back and spawn instead. I'm not sure what Mercy's doing. I'm trying to let her poke so she can get to me. And again, Baptiste has a lot of damage, especially to squishy characters who aren't really paying attention that much. Now this right here is my ult. It allows you to do more damage through it. Now tracers are always hard to heal just because they have that fast movement. It's just really hard to keep up with a lot of times. Again, notice the Roadhog trying to go for the healers, and our DPS is kind of distracted right now. It's a really bad spot for us to all be in here, but I needed to get to my team so Roadhog didn't pick me. Now I'm gonna try to do some damage to him, poke him a little bit, force him back. Again, notice the enemy team's kind of trying their best to focus the healers. They're doing a pretty decent job of it, but fortunately my team's kind of sticking together. I can't really reach this guy. I don't know what he's doing. That's unfortunate right there. I'm trying to get some heals off on me. Again, Roadhog behind us. I don't really have any DPS helping me out, which is unfortunate. Went ahead, threw down my ult, try to get some better damage off. I don't know how I survived that, I'm gonna be honest. It's the perfect time to go for the kill right here when he's ulting. Love that, love that. Try my best to get back to our... There we go. Again, it's kind of a good tool for Baptiste to be able to do a lot of damage. I probably should have threw that out a little earlier, to be honest. Look how much damage that does through there. It literally two-tapped them just now. Now, this Mercy's doing a fairly decent job healing. They're staying with the tank, which is a really good thing. Here I am trying to help Mercy out. Again, as a healer, you've got to try your best to help Mercy. Oh, that's not good. All right, I'm gonna try my best to get back to my team who's wiped. I'm gonna get out of here. This is unfortunate for sure. He's gonna try to hook me, so I gotta keep my distance on him. He's about to ult, I feel. Ooh. Oh, almost able to. Now I should probably get to my team. Now what I'm actually doing is distracting their tank, so it's actually backwards. It's better if my team's able to fight their team when they don't have a tank. I don't know exactly what this dude's doing. Even if he kills me, it's really a loss on his team's part. And as you can see, he's missing a lot of hooks. I'm gonna go ahead and use that, get out of here. He's gonna waste that ult. And again, look how much progress my team has made. Unfortunately, he's able to get that off. And I do win the fight against the tank. It's kind of crazy, honestly, that he missed so many hooks. It's also crazy he took that time away from his squad. Now, I will say, look at my team. The point's not moving at all, and my team is pushed up into their spawn, which is really questionable. And this is one of the problems as a healer. You know, Mercy's trying her best to follow the team around, and as a healer, if you're trying to win with the objectives, you really can't stick with it. You have to stay with your team. So you're kind of put in a bad spot. And that's not really the healer's fault, of course. And a lot of DPS will get mad at healers for not staying with them. But if the team's playing bad and doing bad calls... Sorry, I had to focus up real quick. Again, our Roadhog's kind of going off in his zone as well. I probably should stay closer to him. Thank you, Mercy. Watch for the hook. Gonna go ahead and pop that heal. Kind of misdirect real quick, and there it is. Beautiful. Let's see how much healing we've got done. So I am actually out healing the Mercy, which is absolutely crazy. This kind of shows you the power of a good Baptiste, and also kind of shows you the downfall of a bad Mercy. And I should have shifted there, unfortunately. I thought I could round the corner, and I didn't really get it off successfully. And again, my team is kind of pushing ahead of the point. Tracer, don't really worry about them. Tracers kind of do what Tracers do, and that's kind of their character's point. He's able to get me, unfortunately, and there it is. That's unfortunate. I probably should have just held the angle and baited my teammates, to be honest, especially my tank, because he can survive such a hit like that. I can't. But no big deal. We're pretty close to the spawn. Not a huge one. And all right, this is where we regroup. Now, a lot of people want to go in by themselves, but this is where we need to regroup. I'm able to go ahead and kill her before she can flank. Trying to get to my teammate, unfortunately. I'm gonna try my best to get to Roadhog. He needs to keep backing up. Again, as tanks and DPS, you got to be aware where your healers are at. Even though he's got a healing ability, you're better off. Ooh, dangerous. You're better off getting double healed by yourself as well as the healer. All right, now it looks like my teammates are just kind of up there fighting. I'm gonna try to put some pokes up while I'm playing the tank. Again, I want the point to move up. And just because you're a healer doesn't mean you have to leave completely. You can kind of work it. I don't know exactly what this character's doing. Try to back up, and that's not a bad thing. Sucks that I died, but again, they have a Mercy, or we have a Mercy, so she can do a lot of healing, and doesn't look like they're trying to stop the point. I'm glad I was able to take that damage for my squad. That was actually a huge W in my eyes. Oh, we've got enemies behind us, and that's all she wrote. Good job on Mercy getting the res off, the heal off on the other healer. That was great. Unfortunately, again, our DPS had died, and it was me and Mercy left. Mercy's doing a great job of staying alive. She's doing a fantastic job of staying alive, actually. I'm gonna try my best to get some heals off on her. There we are. And without us even being there, we unfortunately lost. Now, right there, it was more or less a team collapse. We were so close to the end, and my team pushed off to the far right-hand side while me and Mercy are kind of in the middle, getting ulted by Junkrat. Again, even if you play correctly, sometimes you're going to lose. And I'm going to be honest, I do believe our healers really didn't do as well as they probably should have. Judging by their healing, I'm assuming they literally were just sticking by the tank. It would kind of heal DPS and myself if we happened to be close, but I didn't see her shift around. I didn't see her play the entire field. I literally only saw her around a Roadhog unless he died, and then she'd kind of go off and pick somebody else. So I'm not going to say they played bad, but the fact that I was able to out heal her so drastically is a little crazy. Now, it doesn't mean she's bad. Baptiste is a really good healer, but if I would have been the Mercy, I'm gonna try my best not to let a Baptiste out heal me. But guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave it a like. subscribe to the channel today. And again, look, I'm going to be posting gameplays here. I'm going to be posting news and updates with Overwatch. I'm going to be posting a lot of things about ranked. If you guys want me to analyze your gameplay and break it down here on the channel, make sure you upload it to YouTube and send it to me via Twitter, Instagram, and send it to me via Twitter or email or Google Drive, whatever you guys have access to. And I can kind of break down your gameplay and tell you what you really need to kind of work on as a healer. Now, I'm not just a healer. I also do a lot of tanking and DPS. So if you guys are curious on any of that as well, stay tuned. I'm gonna be covering all the heroes. I'm gonna be covering a lot of different strategies. These heroes have great abilities to outplay enemies that a lot of people aren't even aware of yet. But guys, until next time, man, y'all stay frosty and good luck out there.